If you would ask me before the season, would the Steelers be in first place and 4-1 right now? I would expect them to be doing well, but 4-1, I think I would be thinking more of a 3-2, maybe a 2-3 start. But here we are. I'm not complaining.
Kings of the North, and we're a real bad rookie play, and a dumb end zone happening away from being 5-0.
Yeah.
Of course, it can go the other way too, but we're 4-1. We're top of the division. We are 2 games clear. We got a long, long road ahead of us.
I haven't looked at standings league wide, but I saw something online this morning, and it listed 4 teams. Who are the best of the 4-1 teams? Do we not have any undefeated teams already at this point?
No, the Bills were the last ones to lose, I believe,
Holy
and
cow!
they dropped 2 in a row. Yeah, so we have no more. The 72 Dolphins popped the champagne early,
Wow,
and,
that hasn't
and
happened in a long time. I mean, I'm just guessing anyway. It doesn't feel like it's happened in a long time.
yeah, it feels like we usually get to week 7 or week 8 before
Uh
we
huh.
see that drop. Occasionally, we'll have one sneak out to week 13. Everyone's like, "Oh, is this it? Is this it?" But no, everyone lost early, which I feel like from a team perspective, get that talk out of the way.
Yeah.
You want the ring. 8,
Yeah.
19-0. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's
So,
just too much pressure, and you saw how what a fine-tuned machine New England was that year.
yeah,
But everything came crashing down at the worst possible time.
we are grateful for Eli Manning.
Yeah, that's something else. So, what are your highs and lows of the week? How are things looking good, and how bad are they looking?
But we're 4-1. So much of what we talk about is dependent on the record. But you gotta take that extra step, right? Okay, are we a healthy 4-1? Or are we scraping by 4-1? And I think we're
Hmm.
winning pretty decently. We're not only doing splash plays, right? And that's for a while. That was kind of the way that we were winning games.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing for my highs, we're blocking very well
Ooh.
offensively. I, when I'm watching, and I'm not going back and not watching every single rep, but we want to talk about Broderick Jones holding his own against Miles Garrett.
Hmm. It's getting those hips low now. I was watching
Miles
earlier
Garrett had
today.
2 tackles. Two.
Yeah.
Two. Let's go, Braun. I mean, what
Yeah.
what you need from your hopeful franchise left tackle, he showed up and he's been fantastic. Zach Frazier has been fantastic. That's a plug and play Pro Bowler for the next 10 years.
Mm.
McCormick continues to get better. Troy Fautanu still working out those kinks, but playing very, very well. Sayamalu's been fine.
Yeah.
I am so pleased with how this offensive line has continued to build. They're not elite yet, but they're still so young.
Hmm.
And
It
when
kind
I'm
of feels
watching
like
that,
snowball rolling down the mountain a little bit.
and that Rodgers pass to DK, the touchdown, the the amount of space he had, you could have parked a semi back there.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic, and I haven't seen that since Max Starks was our left tackle.
Yeah.
So I was so pleased with that, and then I also love the big hits coming back. Patrick
Yeah.
Queen was just popping them, which was
Hmm.
fantastic. It felt like AFC North football on Sunday between the score being field goals,
Yeah.
the the weather. I had family there. It looked fantastic, and the field. I know the field was not great, but it looked like AFC North football in the fall, and I was just
Yeah.
really, really pleased with that.
Gloomy.
Yes, it was like, it's Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh in October. What more do you want? So
Yeah.
I was really pleased with blocking, protection, and then defensively big hits. What did you notice?
Uh, well, Lowe's, Killebrew, when he blew his
Yeah,
knee out
yeah.
because of the turf. I mean, they should be ahead of the curve on something like this now. I mean, the turf shouldn't be biting them in the tail. I mean, this stadium's been here since 2001. I mean,
Well,
get it
I think
right.
it's I think it's important to differentiate that we are on grass.
Yeah.
Akron Hines is on grass.
Oh
So
yeah.
our number of ligament muscle injuries is lower than
Hmm.
MetLife Stadium, which is just cursed at this point. I'm pretty sure everyone who plays there tears something. But I think about that, what was the 2007 Monday Night Football game against the Dolphins that ended like 3-0. And remember it was pouring down rain and we punted the ball and just stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like they got to figure out a way. People were trying to blame Pitt. Pitt wasn't even home this weekend. They were in Tallahassee. So I'm with you that they got to fix that.
Yeah. I mean, you have a grounds crew. They know what works and what doesn't, or they should. Don't try to, if they try to change anything during the season, don't change anything during the season. I mean, just stick with what you know. Yeah, and the highs of that, again, I was against Rodgers in the offseason. I didn't want to see him come to Pittsburgh. But again, he spoke up in the post-game press conference. We've got to get that field fixed. Something's got to be done, but we can't be playing on that mess. So he's speaking up and saying things that, as much as I thought Mason might be, worth a shot without signing Rodgers, which, I'm eating crow on that. It happens.
It does.
But Mason wouldn't be saying that at a post-game press conference because he'd just be fortunate to be starting for the team. He'd be tucking his tail between his legs every week and just we want. It's like when we beat, who was it we beat before the bye? Minnesota.
Yeah.
Or we couldn't quite seal the deal on it, but we won it in the end with defense. As soon as the game over, Roger's like, we've got to finish these tank games off. He's trying to push that offensive line to become more of the road graders that we need them to be, without calling them out directly. We've got to seal these deals and not depend on the defense. And now he's, hey, this grass. Somebody's got to do something about it. We can't play on this crap.
Yeah. And to your point, they had one of the Steelers reporters tweeted out a photo. The groundskeepers were working on the grass Sunday night.
Yeah.
Like after the game ended, they were immediately involved.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, and we are the same way with Rodgers, right? We didn't want him, get him out of here. We're right now we're wrong.
Yeah.
Again, let's see how the season goes out. But even in Ben's prime, he wasn't this much of a vocal leader.
No, you're
I,
right.
I think Ben was a locker room leader,
Mm-hmm.
but we haven't had a vocal leader.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of feel like, and I can't believe I'm saying this, it's nice to feel like we have an adult in the room with Rodgers because considering what he's been up to the past couple of years. But then you look at New York, they're 0-6.
Yeah.
Maybe it was them.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hear anything good about him when he was, he's prima donna. He's going to cause trouble. He plays favorites. He's a cancer in the locker room, and so far he's been anything but. That could change, but right now it doesn't look like it's going to. It looks like he wants to put his best foot forward to try to, get a championship again before he retires. And we'll see. I mean, they are playing really fast on defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they were wow.
And that I mean, my only negative takeaway, and again, I don't want to nitpick here. That score could have been a lot different. We got to catch the balls on defense when they land. When they hit us in the hands, we got to catch those.
That's why they play D.
I'm watching the recap, and I'm like, that's a dropped INT. That's a dropped interception. That's there could have been 3 or 4 picks.
Yeah.
And that's a rookie quarterback. I don't know. Maybe just stick him back there with the jug machine and let him go to work. But not a whole lot of lows for me. It's a divisional game. There's going to be a lot of ugliness to it, but a win's a win. I'm happy with it. What are some of the things that you noticed from last week?
Well, I liked how we kind of plodded along to begin with, even though you don't want to see them kicking field goals left and right, but they were just trying their best to play smart football and not do anything too crazy and keep everybody, moving forward week to week and within the game. Because, a defense that good, if you don't make the right play call or don't have the right game plan put together, that game could have turned just like that and given them the field position they needed to get some quick scores, and all of a sudden you're down trying to play catch up and they're just pinning their ears back going after the quarterback. So I was fine with it kind of, muddling along for a little while, and then when they start wearing that defense down, they, put a couple of touchdowns on the board. And, well, there you go. They sealed it up. Something that I don't hear a lot of talking about, and you probably won't because everybody likes to talk about the bad. Yeah, I know I do a little bit too much sometimes myself, but everybody's been super critical of that coaching staff from Tomlin all the way down for so long. And I was kind of thinking about this the more I watch these games unfold over the last few weeks, how they're getting more creative on defense. That very first play of the Cleveland game to Washington was just, I mean, that was beautiful. I mean, it's when you've got these players and you have the basically the ingredients on the field to get things done, you can be creative drawing things up. But if you don't have all the players in the right positions to draw things up, you can draw it up, but it may not work. So the coaching staff's been taking a lot of heat for a long time, and maybe it's not so fair because now we're starting to see that they've got the guys on the field to execute this stuff. It's starting to come out.
Yeah, I think, as I said, if we're gonna crap on them, give them their flowers too,
Yeah.
right? I think they've played the team has played well. I think the coaches have they've put the guys where they need to be, and the guys have made the plays. And I think that's so important. That first play
Mm-hmm.
to Darnell, I mean, if only he was a little bit faster, that's an opening play touchdown.
Yeah.
I think on defense, the whole disguise thing they're doing with Patrick Queen, where he rushes to the line and then immediately bounces off and covers the flat. You know, one of Mike
Yeah.
Tomlin's
That's.
Tomlinism is don't get beat to the flat,
Uh
and
huh.
we're covering that. And I think that you're seeing complementary guys play complementary football. And when you do that, you allow each unique player to use their unique skill set. I think a great example of that is Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey came in. Obviously, he's an all pro. He's a future Hall of Famer. He has the resume to prove what he's done. But we question, okay, at this age, what's he going to do? He's made dynamic play after dynamic play. I mean, 2 sacks. You know, he made the joke. He said, "I'm going to tell my kids I had 2 sacks in a game with T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett." You know, and I think the ability for Jalen to feel like he can go on a slot blitz because he trusts the guys behind him because they trust the coaching staff. I think that's what's winning us these games. No, if you look at the stat line, beyond TJ Watt being TJ Watt and Patrick Queen having what I think is an all-pro season, no one's sitting there with mind-blowing numbers. Everyone's just playing very, very well together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Herbig again.
Oh
Big
yeah.
week. I mean, wow. I mean, Highsmith's healthy now, and Jalen Ramsey was blitzing off the edge. He's like our new Mike Hilton.
Yep.
Mike Hilton did a lot of that when he was here.
Yeah. And he's actually the first, I think I saw he's the first Steelers defensive back with 2 sacks in a game since Mike Hilton in like 2017.
Oh wow.
So it's like, yeah, it's right there, and he is that nickel guy. Mike Hilton couldn't cover though. That's the thing.
No, yeah, that
And
was
Jalen can cover. You can put him
big
anywhere.
difference there.
Yeah, it's just size alone. No, you mentioned Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig. What a problem it is to have three amazing pass rushers.
Yeah.
When I sit there and I see TJ Watt's not in the game and I still trust us to get to the quarterback, like what a feeling that is to have. And we've talked about this kind of all year long now. What are we going to do there? I think you keep all three. I do. It's they're if they're okay playing together. One of my big things that I noticed this week was the vets getting rest in the fourth quarter. Like
Hmm.
the game was not completely out of reach. The Browns could have come back. You know, I think if they would have scored a touchdown there at the end, some eyebrows would have been raised. But Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, these guys are on the sideline getting rest because the guys that are younger in front of them are playing so well that they can do that, and
Yeah.
that's going to help us now. It's going to help us in December and January too. Hopefully, we're not exhausted out there. So I'm loving the three-headed system at edge rusher. I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
At least for this season, keep the
Yeah,
three of them. Don't try to move
yeah,
Highsmith now. I mean, you need those defensive guys down the stretch.
yep,
I mean, if anybody gets traded, it just still looks like it'll be Fryermuth.
yeah. I
You know,
know, and
and he was on the field a little bit in this game. He caught one pass, but I mean, he just with Washington coming around, and you've got Jonnu Smith there, and then yeah, I'm listening to the game Sunday, and I'm thinking, I don't know, it just rolls through my brain for a minute. Okay, we've got Fryermuth, Jonnu Smith, Darnell Washington, and where does Connor Hayward fit in all this? And 30 seconds later, he calls that touchdown
Yeah.
pass. Yeah, I
And
mean,
a great throw by Rodgers and a great job by Connor to see what Rodgers is doing, and he
yeah.
points out moves.
Mm-hmm. I
So
mean,
I don't know. It's so hard to predict in season trades
yeah.
because it's so hard for players to acclimate to a new playbook. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
just, all right, go here and learn all your new teammates' names. But I don't. I like Pat. By all accounts, he's a great locker room guy. He's loved. He's not complaining about his role. Mike Tomlin, called him out in a positive way this week and said Pat's time is going to come, and he sure as hell better be ready.
Okay. I heard he had something to say, but I didn't know what it was. I
Yeah,
hadn't.
and he said it in a positive way, like, it's just the way the teams that we've been playing, Darnell matches up better. And I love that. I love that they're playing matchup based football because you can't just say we're gonna beat you with our guys every time. You gotta beat them in your own way. And if that's out scheming them or using the talent you have to your advantage, then that's better than just saying we're gonna run the same 11 guys out there and hope it works.
Which is something that Belichick kind of started with the Patriots in their heyday. You didn't know what their game plan watching that team was from week to week and which receiver was going to shine. It was kind of bizarre because I don't remember a team being that multiple before them. I mean, they would come out and they would run the football 40 times a game if they need to. The next week, they would five wide 90% of their snaps. I mean, it was nuts. And you didn't know who the focal point of their offense was going to be week to week. And some of the guys, one star on Sunday, the next week, he might not see the field 5 plays.
Yep.
He's
Or you
like,
can be
well,
like Jonas Gray and get 4 rushing touchdowns in 1 week and then cut 2 weeks later because you missed practice.
yeah.
It yeah, it just guys are playing well, and I would hate to cut the locker room and trade Pat, but I think it's pretty obvious we need a wide receiver too. And Roman Wilson has not stepped up. I don't know if the coaches don't trust him. I don't know what it is, but you kind of got to look around the league and say, okay, first of all, who's out there? Second of all, who can we afford? And third of all, how do they fit within our roster? I think a lot of people are saying, oh, we should trade for A.J. Brown. And I think A.J. Brown is a great receiver, but he's similar to DK. So I don't know if you want to bring a
Exactly.
guy like that in. A guy who is upset about his target share and you're going to trade for him and still give him less targets. You need to find an actual wide receiver too, a guy who is set in that role. And that's why the only two minds that come to mind for me are Jacoby Myers of the Raiders still, which I mentioned a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing Rashid Shaheed from the Saints name pop up.
Uh huh.
His name pop up. He's a smaller guy. He is so fast. He's got speed. And I think you got to go for one of those guys. Now, when I mentioned Jacoby Myers early in the year, I mentioned that they don't need a tight end because they have Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is arguably the
Yeah.
best tight end in the league already. He's injured.
Oh,
So if the Raiders are punting on their season, then they don't need a tight end.
yeah.
But if they still think that they can compete and they need to build their culture, they run two tight end sets. Maybe there's a Pat conversation in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, they
So I
still
just,
make, well, with Carroll there, he's a little smarter, but, Raiders is one of those teams that just kind of make a move and it doesn't really make sense. Kind of like Cleveland trading Flacco to Cincy.
and Tomlin called that out.
Yeah.
I think he's pissed he has to play Joe Flacco again.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, I think he's legitimately upset that he's played Joe Flacco. He's played Flacco how many times? He's like, I don't want to. I'm sick of this guy.
Yeah. It's, yeah. I mean, I haven't read the article yet, but Tomlin said that Roman Wilson's time's coming. Or something to that effect. I guess maybe in a post game conference or something. I don't know.
I don't. I don't know.
We'll
I don't.
see.
When I
He
see
had
him
a
on the
couple of
field,
catches on Sunday, didn't he?
yeah, I think he had two. Pulled stats here. Um, he had one reception for 12 yards. When I see him, he plays well. Like usually,
Mhm.
you see a guy like Chase Claypool, for example, right? Chase he'd make a play, and you're like, what was that? Why are you doing that? You could see guys why they weren't who they wanted, why they weren't who we wanted them to be. With
Yeah.
Roman, I don't see that. He seems to block well. He seems to be in the right spot at the right time. He seems to, put his nose down and go to work, but we don't trust him. He's getting outsnapped by Ben Skoranek and Scotty Miller, who I think are, fantastic wide receiver fours and fives. But you draft a guy in the second round, you expect so much more out of him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe something will happen this year for him sooner rather than later, hopefully. But I guess we'll see if they put him
Maybe
out
we
there or
can
not.
trade him.
Yeah, I mean that's always possible.
you know, sunk cost fallacy. Like, okay, we draft him with a second round pick. Let's try to get some value for him instead of just hoping it'll work out.
hmm I know one thing I'm looking forward to seeing is we've got the three-headed monster on defense. The more this offensive line gels, they start to turn into some road graders. We're gonna have a three-headed monster at running back, and that's going to be fun to watch if that happens.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Gainwell, Warren, and then Caleb Johnson. He keeps doing a little bit more each week. So
Yeah, I've got him at 6 carries for 15 yards, but 6 carries matches Gainwell.
yeah, he had 3 for 13 before he put those last three in. He ripped off one for like 9 yards or something. So yeah, I mean, not spectacular, but he's out there. He's getting reps. He was in there for some passing plays also. Picking up defenders and everything else. So because we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I would love to not have don't get me wrong, the idea of like a superstar running back is exhilarating. And those days are fun, but also the days of just throwing a guy out there, it doesn't matter who he is, but the line in front of him is going to get him 4 or 5 yards is equally as exciting and a little bit cheaper.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that.
Kind of in that weird spot where we don't have to worry about financials right now because we have, a 47-year-old quarterback. Not really. He's just 40. Uh, and he's making $13 million a year. So we don't have to worry about that. But hopefully, and then we'll land a high profile quarterback one day and we'll have to worry about that again. And we can be
hmm
competing for more than a playoff win.
Oh yeah. Yeah, things are definitely looking up. Uh, Still holding my breath a little bit, but every week they keep putting a little bit more together and look a little more crisp. It doesn't look like there's any fluke wins. I mean, I know they were playing a rookie quarterback, but it still didn't matter. That's a nasty defense, and
Oh, yeah.
they were a non-factor.
Yeah. Yeah. It really felt like we could pretty much do, I don't want to say whatever we want, but it felt like we were doing what we wanted to do.
hmm
Our first three and out wasn't until what, third quarter?
Yeah. Wow.
That's unheard of in
hmm
this era
Especially
of
for us.
yeah. I'm like, well, when they said that, I said, wow, really? What world is this? No, that brings me to I want to talk about. I have this phrase as a certain way. Who's your Steeler of the week, right? Who's the guy on the field or off the field that made the biggest impact in resulting in the Steelers win? Who, based on that description, who would your pick be?
Ooh. Maybe if we're looking at defense, I'd say maybe Harmon because he's pulled that. He got out there in that line. Everything just seemed to gel when he got healthy.
Yeah, he's been better than advertised, I think. He outplayed Mason Graham, top 5 pick for the Browns. He's allowed Cam to rest. He's
hmm
brought an energy. He's brought a meanness. He said he likes doing the dirty work. It looks like a fantastic pick.
Yeah.
If he could have, been healthy all to start the year, who knows how things would have been. But no, I like that pick. My pick
Uh
is Kevin Stefanski and Dylan Gabriel for throwing
oh.
the ball 52 times.
Yeah.
Because I don't know in what world you think that's a good idea to
Yeah.
waltz into Pittsburgh against a defense that's playing very well with a rookie quarterback and throw the ball 52 times.
That's crazy. It's
29
just
for 52 for 221 yards.
he's lucky he didn't
That
leave in a stretcher.
exactly. I mean, there were times when I was like, is everybody going to sack this kid at once? Just
Yeah.
the way that the line collapsed. They have great running backs.
They've got a
Quinshon
good
Judkins,
offensive line too,
yeah,
right?
Quinshon Judkins is a good young running back. They have good running backs, but they just kept throwing and kept throwing. It's like every single time he dropped back to pass, I went again, again, again.
You
It
got to
just
be stubborn with your running game sometimes, especially when you've got a good offensive line. I mean, and what was it? I think it was '98 when Parcells was coaching the Jets. I think they were playing KC. This was Curtis Martin was the running back. They ran the ball at least towards the end of that game or when the game was over. They had 40 rushes for 27 yards.
dang.
Parcells is like, you got to keep pounding it. You've got to
Yeah,
keep that threat there. I mean, that's an extreme, but
right.
still, I mean, it just keep putting your nose in the pile, and especially you got to protect that rookie QB somehow.
Yeah. When I watched it and then I saw the stat line, I was like, wow, they really just said, all right, see you, man. Good luck. That's TJ Watt. That's Alex Highsmith. That's Nick Herbig. That's Cam Hayward. That's Derek Harmon. That's Jalen Ramsey. Figure it out.
Yeah. Hmm.
So that, again, I know obviously he's not a Steeler, but I was like, dang, that guy was maybe Kevin Stefanski really wanted us to win this game.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to
I
come work
kind
for
of
my.
liked him as a coach, several years ago when he's like, this guy seems like he's kind of got it together. Maybe he'll turn something out over there. But no, I mean, Cleveland will always be Cleveland, and I've said that a million times. It
Yep.
starts at the top and it stinks at the top and it's going to stink at the bottom. They'll
Oh,
catch lightning in a bottle every 5 or 6 seasons and make a run in the playoffs. Other than that, they're just going to consistently be a non-factor. It's just how it is.
it really does feel like they're cursed, and obviously the connection with Pittsburgh and Cleveland goes back so far. Even in Cowher's days, he was the coach there, and it it just feels like no matter what they do, they are cursed. I mean, they finally land a great, young, fun, exciting, charismatic quarterback in Baker with the first overall pick, who comes into Pittsburgh, puts us on our butts, makes Ben Roethlisberger and Marquise Pouncey cry on the sideline,
Yeah.
and then a year later you bench him and you move for Deshaun. I mean, it's just like it. If there is a right decision to be made, the Browns choose the opposite one.
Yeah. When they signed Watson and traded for him, I was like, wow, that they are going to regret that for the next 10 years.
Yeah, and they're going to be crawling out of it. And I have no sympathy for Myles Garrett, who requested a trade, which I think was fair, signs a contract, says I'm here to bring this team to a Super Bowl, and then is here 7 weeks into the season complaining because they're
Yeah.
not winning. Like, nah, dude, you signed your name. Once you sign that second contract or
Hmm.
third contract with that team, you don't get to complain. You could have left.
Yeah.
So they're just I really just think that they're cursed, which is great. It's great. It's fantastic. No complaints from me. Keep doing what you're doing, Cleveland. It's working out great for you.
So we got a game Thursday night in Cincy.
Yep.
I assume Flacco's going to be starting.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't seen Cincy play. I know things aren't going well for him, but do they have anything? I
Well, they
mean,
have
we
Jamar
stink
Chase.
on Thursday night football
We
over
do.
the
We
last several years, but
we are atrocious on Thursday night football and against divisional opponents. Like that combination, we're like in a Tomlin has winning records in everything except for that. The thing is, they still have the second best receiver in football. They have Jamar Chase. They have
yeah,
T. Higgins. So I'm curious what they're going to do to get the ball into their hands because beyond that, they have nothing. Their offensive line is awful. Chase Brown is a good running back, but he's nothing without an offensive line.
yeah,
Joe Flacco, his best trait has been the deep ball. He's not going to get that time. So it's like if this was not the Cincinnati, if this was just a random team of these players and this coaching staff on Sunday at 1 o'clock, we should blow them out of the water. Like
mhm.
I'm not even trying to be a homer, just matchup based
Oh yeah,
ball. But because it's division, because it's Thursday night, because Trey Hendrickson might not play. So
yeah. I saw that.
yeah, I
Yeah,
to your point, they don't have anything that I'm scared of beyond Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase just connecting 38 times.
Mm-hmm.
But it's again, it's AFC North football, so anything's possible.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can just play Steeler football, for lack of a better term. I mean, just go out there and win the time of possession and keep their offense sitting on the sideline. And then when our defense gets out there, they'll be fresh and ready to rock and roll. And,
Yeah.
you know,
No, I would love to get in there, do exactly what we did against Cleveland. Get in there, control it, control the ball, control the game, and when the fourth quarter hits, tuck your vets in, say goodnight, and just play keep away. Because I think the Steelers doing that on Sunday is going to be instrumental for this week, short week, obviously.
yeah,
And
you
oh,
can't
you play
overlook
Thursday,
these guys. Can't overlook them. That's for
yeah.
sure.
And then you play Thursday night, then you get the pseudo bye, right? Because you have 10 days off until your next game.
Mm-hmm.
So thankfully, beyond Miles Killebrew, we're not super banged up right now,
Yeah.
but that can change in an instant.
Hope we pull it out.
You gotta believe, man.
Yep. Oh, I do.
Gotta
Hey, I mean,
believe.
things are looking good. This will be a very telling game. You know, after you 4-1, we got all this positive momentum behind us. We'll see how mature of a ball club we have if they can go into Cincinnati on a Thursday night, a short week, and they don't have to blow them out, but just win the stinking game. If they can push through and win it and just play good, solid football. But if
The Thursday night games recently have a habit of being really slow to start, being a very slow first and second quarter, and then about halfway through the third, it starts to pick up.
yeah.
So, maybe that's what we're looking at here. Do you have a score prediction?
Uh, I go 27-16.
Okay.
Us.
I'm gonna go 24-13.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to rely on some field goals. Our defense, the red zone defense has been great, and there's gonna come a time when they're gonna force a play, and I'm hoping for some interceptions, some big plays. I'm starting the Steelers defense in fantasy football back-to-back weeks, so
There you go.
more turnovers, please.
Yeah, we need to make Flacco's life hard and make him wish he just retired before the season started.
Yep.
All right, well, that does us for us. That does it for us, folks. We'll see you next time. Later.
See ya.